Once a man reaches, I guess your 20s is when you're in your prime, like physical prime, to like maybe 30. And then with athletes, they can kick it into the deep into the 30s. Like you could be an elite athlete. Like there's this guy, Artur Beterbiev.
Joe Rogan broke down the highly anticipated Artur Beterbiev versus Dmitry Bivol fight. Previously, Rogan praised Beterbiev's title defense. Beterbiev, who scored a TKO victory over Callum Smith on January 13th, enhanced his record to a perfect 20-0, with all wins coming by knockout. This victory not only allowed Beterbiev to retain his WBC, WBO, and IBF light heavyweight titles, but also positioned him for an undisputed championship showdown with Dmitry Bivol. Shortly after the victory, Rogan took to Instagram to share his thoughts, congratulating the champion and expressing his admiration. In the caption, he wrote, "This guy drags people to hell like no other." Artur Beterbiev goes 20-0 with 20 knockouts and becomes the first guy to floor Callum Smith. I hope he gets the super fights he deserves before he retires. And I hope people appreciate how extraordinarily terrifying his style and skills are. According to Rogan's remarks, Beterbiev concluded the bout against Smith in the 7th round with a corner stoppage, just moments after sending the former WBA super middleweight champion to the canvas. Notably, Smith had never been knocked down before in his career, even during his prominent title fights with Canelo Alvarez and George Groves. Just a month before Beterbiev achieved his 20th professional victory, Bivol challenged the Dagestani fighter following his title defense against Lyndon Arthur. Reports indicate that Bivol has already signed a contract to face Beterbiev prior to the latter's matchup with Smith on January 13th.
18-0 with 18 knockouts.
Jesus.
He's the only world champion that's in boxing today that has a 100% knockout ratio for every fight he's ever been in. He's from Chechnya. This dude is fucking terrifying.
Recently, Rogan predicted that Beterbiev would emerge victorious in what would be a highly anticipated showdown. Both fighters are undefeated, with unique skill sets that make them top contenders in the sport. But Rogan's prediction leans toward Beterbiev's crushing power and relentless style as key factors for his success. Beterbiev's dominance in the light heavyweight division is largely due to his combination of physicality and technical skill. His granite chin, paired with his powerful combinations, makes him a dangerous opponent for anyone in the division. Beterbiev's aggressive forward pressure has broken down many elite fighters, as seen in his fights against Alexander Gvozdyk and Marcus Brown. His ability to cut off the ring, trap his opponents, and force them into exchanges they can't win is central to his game plan. Dmitry Bivol's style differs significantly from Beterbiev's. Bivol is known for his technical precision, speed, and tactical approach to fights. While he doesn't have the knockout power of Beterbiev, Bivol's defense, footwork, and ability to control distance are some of the best in the sport. Bivol's performance against Saul Canelo Alvarez in May 2022 cemented his reputation as one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world. He used his jab effectively, maintained distance, and outboxed Canelo, who was widely considered one of the best fighters in any weight class. Bivol's victory was seen as a masterclass in boxing fundamentals, showing his ability to adapt and control the tempo of a fight against an aggressive opponent. During his podcast, Joe Rogan shared his thoughts on the matchup between these two light heavyweight titans. According to Rogan, while both Beterbiev and Bivol are incredibly skilled, it's Beterbiev's knockout power and relentless aggression that will likely give him the edge in a fight against Bivol. Rogan emphasized the sheer force that Artur Beterbiev brings into the ring. "He's just a monster," Rogan said, referencing Beterbiev's ability to close fights with a single punch. Rogan highlighted Beterbiev's knockout streak, pointing out that even elite boxers struggle to withstand his barrage of power punches.
Terrifying, because Joe Smith Jr. is an animal. I mean, he's this big, power-punching light heavyweight, and Beterbiev f***ed him up in 2 rounds.
He said that Beterbiev is relentless. He comes forward, he hits like a truck, and he just breaks people down. While Rogan respects Bivol's technical abilities, he expressed concern that Bivol's defensive style might not be enough to neutralize Beterbiev's power. Bivol's got great movement, great jab, but how long can you keep Beterbiev off of you? Rogan asked. He referenced Bivol's fight against Canelo, where Bivol's discipline and ring IQ were crucial in his victory, but Rogan noted that Canelo is a smaller fighter than Beterbiev and doesn't bring the same level of pressure. Rogan also pointed out that Bivol would need to be perfect for 12 rounds to win. It's not that Bivol can't win. He's a great boxer. But to avoid Beterbiev's power for an entire fight is a tall order, Rogan said. He added, "It's not just one punch. It's the cumulative damage that Beterbiev dishes out. Every punch he throws is designed to hurt you." Rogan outlined a few key factors that could determine the outcome of the fight. For Beterbiev, it's about applying his signature pressure and forcing Bivol into exchanges. If Beterbiev can get inside and make Bivol fight at close range, he's got a good chance of winning, Rogan said. Rogan believes that Beterbiev's body shots and combinations would wear Bivol down over the course of the fight, eventually leading to a knockout or stoppage. For Bivol, Rogan emphasized the importance of maintaining distance and sticking to a disciplined game plan. Bivol needs to fight the perfect fight, stay on the outside, use his jab, and frustrate Beterbiev, Rogan said. Rogan also mentioned that Bivol's footwork and defensive capabilities could help him avoid Beterbiev's power punches, but that it would be an exhausting task to maintain over 12 rounds. Meanwhile, according to Ariel Helwani, Georges St-Pierre was aware that Artur Beterbiev had great potential and would go far in the boxing world. Beterbiev, reigning IBF World Light Heavyweight Champion, has since expanded his dominance by claiming both the WBC and WBO titles. This month, he steps into the ring against WBA and WBO champion Dmitry Bivol, with the winner set to be the undisputed king of the division.
Beterbiev is like 38. I think he's 38 or 37 or 38, something like that. But Google Artur Beterbiev. He's a animal. Most guys by that age that are professional boxers, he's 37. Most guys by that age are starting to slide a little bit physically. Skill-wise, they can maintain. Dude, he's a animal.
Before Beterbiev gained worldwide recognition for his boxing prowess, he built his reputation as a professional fighter in the Montreal circuit, where, according to Helwani, he crossed paths with UFC legend Georges St-Pierre. St-Pierre first became aware that Beterbiev had the potential to be a great fighter during the boxer's formative years in Montreal. Helwani said, "Georges St-Pierre, I remember many moons ago the great UFC champion was training with Beterbiev, and he told me, this is the guy, before he really burst on the scene. He couldn't have spoken more highly about someone. And when GSP tells you that about a fighter of any kind, you listen. And so I have always adored him for that reason." Parker, the reigning WBO interim heavyweight champion, praised Bivol's footwork while highlighting his technical skill and patience as key strengths. He believes these qualities will be crucial when facing a heavy hitter like Beterbiev. Parker said, "I favor Bivol as well. I feel like he's more precise with his punches and has good footwork." Combat sports journalist Ariel Helwani highlighted Beterbiev's recent knee injury as a key advantage for Bivol. Beterbiev had surgery for a ruptured meniscus in May and hasn't returned to the ring since, giving Bivol a potential edge. The injury also caused Beterbiev to withdraw from their originally scheduled June 1st fight, a date on which Bivol instead faced and triumphed over Malik Ziad, who stepped in as a replacement. Helwani said, "Bivol has been active. He fought, I know, lesser competition, but he hasn't had to come back from injury. I think that Bivol is the better boxer. Beterbiev is the better puncher, the harder puncher, but Bivol's the better boxer. And so for that reason, I favor Bivol." The Russian fighter acknowledged that his ambition was to dominate the light heavyweight division, stating that his upcoming bout with Beterbiev would serve as the ultimate test of his skills. Recalling his childhood memories, Bivol added, "What it means for me. I've been in boxing since I was 6 years old. I sacrificed so much in my life. This is the final step." Combat sports enthusiasts find themselves in a heated debate over their allegiances. On one hand, Bivol showcases remarkable technical skills that have even bested Canelo Alvarez. On the other hand, Beterbiev possesses a fearsome knockout ability, capable of taking down any opponent in his path. The question remains, who will emerge victorious when the final bell rings? In the lead-up to the highly anticipated match, numerous experts have shared their insights, including Timothy Bradley nearly a year ago when the fight was merely a rumor. He told The Athletic that Bivol held a distinct advantage. Bradley said, "Bivol is a very tough matchup, having that strong foundation, amateur pedigree, and also having an educated jab and in-and-out footwork that can keep Beterbiev off balance. Who would I favor right out the gate? I would favor the boxer."
But Google the video of him knocking out Joe Smith Jr. because you could find it online. He's a fucking animal. And Joe Smith Jr. is a dangerous guy. He's this big power punching guy. And this Artur Beterbiev just fucked him up, man. But it's interesting how he did it. Like, Joe's like real aggressive and powerful, and he just caught him coming in.
Bradley has since changed his perspective, stating that after watching Beterbiev's knockout win against Callum Smith in his most recent fight, he now believes the matchup is evenly balanced at 50-50. He shared this insight with Boxing News, saying, "Tough fight. I'm going to say 50-50. I've always favored Bivol, but he'll have to fight a perfect fight to keep Beterbiev off of him." Bradley also explained why, in his opinion, it's a lot closer than he initially believed. He added, "He's a real champion. He's disciplined and devoted to his religion. He doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke, he takes care of himself. When you preserve your body like that, you can last long in the sport." While his most recent bout saw him stop Malikzad, Beterbiev stands as a true knockout specialist, having finished all 20 of his opponents, including notable names like Callum Smith, Anthony Yarde, and Joe Smith Jr. This sets up a compelling clash of styles, pitting his devastating power against Bivol's sharp footwork, tactical ring intelligence, and slick defensive skills. In an interview with Fight Hub TV, renowned trainer Robert Garcia expressed his enthusiasm for the upcoming fight, admitting difficulty in choosing a clear victor. However, he leaned toward Bivol, citing the fighter's superior technical abilities. When discussing the upcoming fight between Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol, Garcia expressed his excitement, saying it would be a difficult match to predict. He mentioned that he leaned toward Bivol winning by decision, as he believed Bivol's style would prevent Beterbiev from getting close. However, he also acknowledged the possibility of Beterbiev stepping in, hurting Bivol, and knocking him out, given Beterbiev's immense power. Despite this, Garcia still favored Bivol by decision. Canelo, the Mexican superstar, might quietly be rooting for Bivol's victory, waiting in the shadows. He eagerly anticipates a chance at redemption, eyeing a rematch with his familiar rival for a shot at reclaiming all 4 titles in the 175-lb division. It's a very tough fight. I believe Bivol is a slight favorite in the fight because, skill-wise, he's a better fighter than Beterbiev, said Hearn when speaking to Boxing News. He added, "We've seen time and time again that Beterbiev can sometimes lose rounds, but he just hunts you down." Despite a growing number of fans backing Beterbiev, odds makers continue to favor Bivol. It's not hard to see why. Bivol, at 33, has youth on his side, is free of recent injuries unlike Beterbiev's knee issue, and boasts a standout victory over Canelo Alvarez. One of my fans was trying to get him on the podcast, and he was hitting the bag in the gym. My boy said, "God damn, who keeps slamming the door in your gym?" He said, "That's no door, that's Beterbiev hitting the bag," said Nate Campbell to YSM Sports Media, talking about why he's picking Artur Beterbiev to defeat Dmitry Bivol. He added, "Until you prove me different, Beterbiev is the puncher. You can neutralize a puncher by being a bigger puncher. Tell me, what guy is a bigger puncher than Beterbiev? Bivol can box, I know he can box, but can he punch? I could box, and I could punch." Bivol possesses solid punching power, though it's far from exceptional. While he can score knockouts, it typically requires him to wear opponents down with a steady accumulation of punches over time. To maintain that pressure, however, he often leaves himself open to counterattacks. Taking that kind of risk against a fighter like Beterbiev would be far too perilous to pull off. So that changes the dynamic of the game. When you can box and you can punch, what is the most dangerous style in boxing? In just 9 days, boxing fans will witness the crowning of the first undisputed light heavyweight champion since Roy Jones Jr. claimed the title in 1999.
Wait for that one, man. That's gonna be a fight that it's hard to pick the winner. I lean towards Bivol by decision. I just think he's got that style that he's not gonna allow Beterbiev to get in close. I don't know. I just think Bivol pulls it off. But I wouldn't be surprised if Beterbiev lands and hurts him and knocks him out, because that guy has so much power that he could knock anybody out. But I lean towards Bivol by decision.
Meanwhile, the rumored financial details surrounding the fighters, Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol, have surfaced. So, what will the Russian pair earn from their highly anticipated showdown? As they prepare for this highly anticipated match, both fighters are reportedly set to earn $10 million each, according to Boxing Kingdom. This hefty purse has sparked discussions within the boxing community about whether the compensation is justified for both competitors. Earlier today, Boxing Kingdom took to X to announce Beterbiev versus Dmitry Bivol purse info. Both fighters are set to receive $10 million each. It's essential to highlight that these numbers have not received official confirmation from either the fighters or their promoters. Moreover, the figures mentioned exclude potential income from sponsorships, ticket sales, and pay-per-view revenue related to the event. Notably, sources indicate that Bivol secured $1.9 million from his December 23, 2023 match against Lyndon Arthur. However, his most lucrative payday occurred in 2022 during his clash with Canelo Alvarez, where he reportedly earned $5 million. In contrast, Beterbiev received $132,450 after his fight with Callum Smith earlier this January. Prior to that, the unified light heavyweight champion pocketed $500,000 for his bout against Anthony Yarde. Considering this, it's evident that both competitors are poised to receive the largest financial rewards of their boxing careers. This development has ignited extensive conversations within the boxing community, even drawing in UFC President Dana White and Bivol's former wife. Given the fight's historical significance, some argue that even $10 million apiece is less, though it's a big improvement over their purses from earlier battles. Notably, the boxers will profit from the bout more financially in various ways. Surprisingly, despite this dark outlook, Bivol is considered a narrow favorite for the fight, even with Beterbiev holding the title of unified champion and boasting an unblemished knockout record. A significant factor contributing to Bivol's status as the favorite over Beterbiev stems from his impressive victory over Canelo in May 2022. This win has captivated fans, media, and bookmakers alike, leading many to see it as an indicator that Bivol could replicate that success against Beterbiev. Bivol's status as the frontrunner can also be attributed to Beterbiev's age at 39 and his recovery from a torn meniscus. Beterbiev has rushed his return following knee surgery, raising doubts about whether he'll regain his full strength in time for the match. Beterbiev is used to being the man on the stage. He fights in Canada, he's selling out the shows, he's the headliner. Bivol sometimes shies away from the big stage. He fights chief support other than the Canelo fight. It didn't feel like the show was built around him, and he was a bit of a bit player against Canelo, said Ariel Helwani to DAZN Boxing, discussing the Beterbiev versus Dmitry Bivol fight. So there's going to be a lot of pressure come that fight week. Beterbiev is used to that pressure. He's used to the spotlight. I'm wondering how Bivol handles all that. There was no pressure on him whatsoever against Canelo. That was all about Canelo. The story about that fight was Canelo moving up. Bivol was just a bit player, Helwani said about Bivol's fight against the superstar Canelo in 2022. Helwani added, "I'm just curious how he deals with it. I think it actually helps him that it's in Riyadh. It's a little bit different than being in front of 50,000 people, or even in front of 25,000 people in Montreal where Beterbiev is beloved. I'm just curious to see how he rises to the occasion. I'm backing him as well. Make sure to check out some of our other videos on the screen if you enjoyed this one.